The courtroom fell completely silent as Dorit Kemsley stood tall, staring directly at the man who once controlled everything behind the scenes. In that single moment, everything changed. Andy Cohen, the powerful force behind Real Housewives, was no longer safe, and Dorit made sure everyone knew it. What started as Kyle and Erica's tearful attempt to beg for forgiveness quickly turned into one of the most humiliating scenes Beverly Hills has ever witnessed. As they broke down in front of the judge, Dorit's team dropped a recording that no one in the room was prepared for. Andy Cohen's own voice filled the courtroom, cold, calculated, and caught on tape. The words he allegedly said about handling Dorit sent a visible wave of shock through everyone present. Kyle's face went pale. Erica looked like she had been punched in the gut. Even the judge leaned forward, stunned. This wasn't just a personal victory for Dorit. This was the moment the entire Bravo empire started cracking from the inside. And the worst part? This is only the beginning of what she has planned. For almost 10 years, Dorit Kemsley, Kyle Richards, and Erica Jane formed what looked like the unbreakable core of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They stood together at every reunion, defended each other fiercely, vacationed on private jets, and constantly told the cameras they were more like sisters than castmates. On the surface, it all seemed perfect: glamorous lunches, emotional talks, and public displays of loyalty that fans loved. But behind closed doors, things had been rotting for a long time. Dorit came into the show as the stylish British newcomer trying hard to fit into the Beverly Hills world. She survived a terrifying armed home invasion in 2021 that left her deeply traumatized. Then came her very messy and very public divorce from PK, complete with leaked financial problems and tabloid stories that painted her as reckless. During her lowest moments, she turned to Kyle and Erica, expecting the support they had always promised. Kyle, who built her entire image around loyalty above everything, slowly started pulling away when her own marriage to Mauricio began falling apart. Erica, still carrying scars from her own financial scandal, began making snide comments behind Dorit's back, calling her poor me, attitude exhausting, and questioning her money stories. What started as small passive jabs turned into cold silence. Group chats went quiet. Group trips became awkward and tense. Then came the infamous $287,000 shopping spree while Dorit's mansion was heading toward foreclosure. Instead of standing by her, Kyle and Erica disappeared when she needed them most. That abandonment cut deep. Dorit didn't break down in public. Instead, she made a quiet decision that would change everything. She started recording every private conversation, every late-night call, and every shady comment when the cameras were off. What no one realized at the time was how far this quiet revenge would eventually reach. Because those secret recordings didn't just expose Kyle and Erica. They eventually pulled in someone much bigger, the man who sits at the very top of the Bravo pyramid. This wasn't a simple falling out between friends. This was a slow-burning war that was always going to explode in the most public and painful way possible. And today, in that Los Angeles courtroom, it finally reached its breaking point. The tension in the Los Angeles courtroom was already thick when Kyle Richards and Erica Jane stood up to deliver what they hoped would be their saving grace. Both women looked exhausted and broken after everything that had happened. Kyle's eyes were red and swollen from crying. Erica tried to keep a straight face, but her hands were visibly shaking. They had just finished giving an emotional apology, with Kyle saying in a cracked voice, "We let jealousy destroy our sisterhood. We were wrong. Please forgive us." Erica added, almost pleading, "It was a horrible mistake. We came to your home that night out of pure rage and pain. We'll do anything to make this right." For a brief second, the room went quiet. Some people actually thought Dorit might soften. But then Dorit's lawyer stood up and read her response in a calm, ice-cold tone. Dorit rejects their apology completely. Words mean nothing after they broke into her home, physically attacked her, and tried to silence her forever. This was premeditated violence. The rejection hit like a slap. Kyle immediately broke down again, sobbing uncontrollably. Erica looked devastated, her face turning pale. But what happened next took everyone by complete surprise. As the judge was about to respond, Dorit's legal team announced they had new evidence to present. The courtroom lights seemed to dim as they played a recording. At first, it was just muffled voices. Then Andy Cohen's unmistakable voice filled the room. If she refuses to delete those tapes, do whatever is necessary. We cannot let her take down the entire franchise. The words hung in the air like smoke. Gasps echoed throughout the courtroom. Kyle's head snapped up, her face a mixture of horror and disbelief. Erica looked like she had been punched in the stomach. The judge leaned forward, his expression hardening instantly. This wasn't just Kyle and Erica acting out of personal anger anymore. This recording suggested the man running Bravo had allegedly encouraged them to handle Dorit physically if needed. The implications were massive. Dorit sat quietly, not smiling, not gloating, just watching everything unfold with a calm that felt more powerful than any outburst. Her lawyer continued, explaining how this recording was made just hours before the violent home invasion at Dorit's mansion. He presented phone records and location data showing Kyle and Erica had driven past her house twice that evening, clearly planning the attack. The judge didn't waste time. He immediately called for order as whispers turned into loud reactions in the gallery. He warned both Kyle and Erica that this new evidence showed clear intent and lack of remorse. In a firm voice, he increased the damages from $25 million to a staggering $30 million and added strict new conditions, no contact with Dorit, continued ankle monitors, and the possibility of criminal contempt charges. But the real twist came when Dorit's team revealed they had even more recordings, not just of Kyle and Erica, but multiple conversations involving high-level Bravo executives discussing how to neutralize Dorit before she could release everything. As security escorted a still-crying Kyle and a furious Erica out of the main area, one thing became crystal clear. This wasn't a simple housewives feud anymore. This was a direct challenge to the man who built the entire franchise. And Dorit wasn't finished. Not even close. The question now on everyone's mind was simple: how much more does she have, and how far is she willing to go to burn it all down? Within minutes of the hearing ending, the story exploded far beyond the courtroom walls. Clips of Kyle breaking down and Erica's furious expression began circulating online, and the internet did what it does best: it turned the moment into pure chaos. Social media lit up instantly. On Twitter, hashtag Dorit vs. Andy and hashtag Bravo Exposed shot to #1 worldwide, with millions of posts pouring in within the first hour. TikTok was flooded with side-by-side videos, old clips of Kyle preaching loyalty next to her courtroom breakdown, and Erica's confident reunion moments compared to her defeated face today. The views crossed 80 million in just a few hours. Fans were split right down the middle. Some were calling Dorit a hero for finally standing up and exposing the system. Others felt Kyle and Erica's apology looked genuine and accused Dorit of taking things too far. But the real firestorm started when more details about Andy Cohen's alleged involvement began leaking. Insiders close to the production claimed this wasn't the first time Andy had stepped in to protect the brand. According to multiple sources, he had been quietly monitoring Dorit's growing anger for months and had encouraged Kyle and Erica to keep her in check. One leaked message reportedly read, "Handle it before it gets worse." The escalation didn't stop there. Major sponsors started contacting Bravo, expressing serious concerns. Some even threatened to pull their advertising, saying the scandal was crossing from entertainment into something much darker. Inside Bravo headquarters, emergency meetings were reportedly being held back-to-back. Andy Cohen himself has stayed completely silent so far, which those close to him say is a very bad sign. But the most shocking reveal came just as people were trying to process the courtroom recording. Dorit's legal team quietly submitted another piece of evidence, a second recording from the same night, where Andy Cohen allegedly tells Kyle and Erica, "If she won't back down, we need to make sure she has no choice." This new audio didn't just expose Andy. It suggested the entire situation may have had high-level approval from the top. Now the question everyone is asking is no longer just about Kyle and Erica. It's about how deep this really goes and whether Dorit is prepared to take down the whole empire to get justice. The story is moving faster than anyone can keep up with, and it shows no signs of slowing down. The fallout from that courtroom moment spread faster than anyone expected. Within hours, the story dominated every platform. On Twitter, hashtags like hashtag Dorit exposed Andy and hashtag Bravo corruption were trending at #1 globally, with over 12 million posts in less than a day. People were posting old reunion clips next to the new courtroom footage, pointing out the shocking difference in how Kyle and Erica once acted versus how broken they looked now. Fan reactions were sharply divided. Many longtime viewers praised Dorit for finally fighting back after years of what they called silent bullying. Comments like, "Dorit did what we all wanted to see," and "finally someone is exposing how this show really works," flooded the timelines. On the other side, a large group defended Kyle and Erica, saying their apology looked real and that Dorit was being too ruthless. Some even called her calculated and unforgiving, arguing that destroying people's careers and dragging Andy Cohen into it was going too far. The cast itself seemed shaken. Garcelle Beauvais reportedly sent messages to friends saying she never imagined things would get this serious. Sutton Strake was seen looking emotional while speaking to people close to her, and Lisa Rinna deleted several stories after posting something vague about being careful who you trust in this town. Even Teddy Mellencamp liked posts supporting Dorit's decision to keep pushing. But the real pressure came from the industry side. Major sponsors started reaching out to Bravo privately, worried about being associated with such a toxic and now potentially criminal situation. A few have already begun pulling their advertising, according to sources. Inside Bravo's offices, the mood is said to be one of panic. Executives are holding multiple emergency meetings a day, trying to figure out how to handle the growing scandal without making it worse. Andy Cohen has remained completely silent so far, no statements, no social media activity. People close to him say he is both angry and concerned about how far this could go. Some insiders believe this might be the biggest threat the Real Housewives franchise has ever faced. What started as a personal feud between three women has now become something much larger, a direct challenge to the system that made them all famous. And right now, no one seems to know how it's going to end. Just when it seemed like the drama couldn't get any heavier, Dorit's legal team dropped one final bombshell that changed the entire direction of the case. During a private session with the judge, they submitted a new recording, one made just hours before the violent home invasion at Dorit's mansion. In it, Andy Cohen's voice is heard speaking directly to Kyle and Erica in a calm but firm tone. He allegedly tells them if she won't delete everything and walk away quietly, then you need to make sure she understands there are consequences. We can't let one person destroy what we've built. The judge reportedly listened to the full recording in silence. When it finished, the atmosphere in the room shifted completely. Kyle, who was already emotionally drained, reportedly broke down again. Erica sat completely still, staring at the table with a look of pure disbelief. The judge then made it clear that this new evidence could lead to far more serious consequences, not just for Kyle and Erica, but possibly for others at Bravo as well. Dorit's team didn't stop there. They also presented documents suggesting that several high-level executives had been aware of the growing tension and may have encouraged aggressive action to protect the show's image. This turned the case from a personal dispute into something that could threaten the future of the entire franchise. After the session, Dorit released a short but powerful statement through her lawyer. She said, "This was never just about me. It was about how they treat people when they think no one is watching. Today, people are watching." The judge has now scheduled an urgent hearing in just 5 days, where more evidence will be presented in open court. Many,